Hello and welcome back to another Art Fabula video. Today, the first video of the year is all about safety. So please, let me show you what I have here. When I began with Art Fabula, I thought that I would do something small, little things, not so dangerous, very easy things, maybe design something, send to the factory and get the product done. But that was not the case. That was the case in the beginning with Eggy. I did the design, they sent it to the factory, they did everything and they sent it to me. They have their own security measures there in the factory and then they send me the Eggy to me. But when Art Fabula began to grow, I put a little more effort in this security thing. For example, I got a 3D printer and I began printing small Eggies in this 3D printer. And my studio is very small, so I didn't have too much space. The airflow is very bad here in this room. I use, as a safety measure, some kind of half mask. The problem with the half mask is that it's not very tight on my face, so I needed a bigger one. And then I bought this whole mask. And in the beginning it worked very well when I used a 3D printer and also when I began to paint with the airbrush. But after a few days I began to smell the paint inside the mask and that was not very good because I began to have big problems in my throat. The problem was the beard. I grew a beard and knew, as well, I hope everyone who has a beard know, that it doesn't matter what kind of mask do you use, just normal mask. If you have a beard, this won't be tight on your face. This doesn't work at all. It works with bigger particles, but not with small particles. So this kind of mask doesn't work at all with a beard. So what do you need? Well, what do you need is something like that. And I made a video about this thing. This is the safety measure number 1, and this is my respirator. And why is this respirator good? Well, it's because I have 2 filters here. In the back is like a belt. And then I have the mask. And the mask is good because, well, I have this elastic thing, plastic, and then it has some kind of respirator where the air flows from the belt to the mask. And then it's impossible to the particles to come inside because the airflow is always coming out. So that's because this kind of respirator is the best if you have a beard. This is the only thing that works. And this is a Swedish brand, but there are a lot of brands, different brands out there. I think 3M has some kind of ventilator or respirator. For a long time, for a very long time, until now, it was the only safety measure. Well, if you don't accept this one as a safety measure. But I began to feel that I need something more, that it wasn't enough. And this feeling is, I don't know why, but it's a feeling about how the air quality is here in the room. I didn't have any possibility to measure the air quality in this room. So I began to think about this air quality, and I found this thing that meets the VOC. The VOC are the particles are around us and is telling me how many particles are right now. If you see, I'm talking directly to this machine here and you will see a racing. So everything is affecting this thing and is measuring the VOC, the volatile particles in the air. This, I think we should have a little bit of caution with this thing because I bought this thing to measure what is the quality of the air when I'm painting and when I'm using the 3D printer. The problem is that VOC is just a compound of particles. It's not just one kind of particles that are bad for your health. Not that, it's not about that, it's just particles. And some of these particles are not that bad for your health, but a lot of particles are bad. So this doesn't separate these particles, just tells you how many particles are in my case in the studio. The other problem is that, for example, here in Sweden, we don't have any kind of regulation that says that you have to be less than 1.83, for example, something like that. But I will follow the WHO recommendation. I think it's around 1.6 or something like that. If it's higher than that, then I should open the windows and should maybe take a pause or something like that, because, well, there are a lot of particles here inside the studio and it's not good. And what to do about that? Well, I have the respirator, so I feel safe, but the problem is that all the particles can go outside as soon as I open the door and go outside the studio, and I don't want to do that. A lot of particles going also through the airbrush and go outside, so that's not a big problem. But I need to clean the air here. And as I told you before, there is bad ventilation here in this studio. So I bought this. I'm not sure if you see him. This is an air purifier, and this is small enough to clean the air of this studio. I have seen a lot of people buying these things for maybe 3D printing and maybe airbrushing. Yes, they work, but you need to think about what kind of field do you have here inside, because if you have a normal HEPA filter, then it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. You need a carbon filter. A carbon filter is something that you will need. So I bought this one, and then I bought another filter that is the carbon one, and then I put the carbon one. The carbon one is for particles, for those bad particles that affect our health. So together with these things that I have shown you, the measurement machine here, the respirator here, the airbrush with the air flowing there, and then the air cleaner here, I hope to make some kind of ideal studio place. But it's not enough. I would like to have a bigger studio with some very good air ventilation, but it's not possible right now. So I think I need to put a series of rules, and one of those rules are, I have those rules before, of course, but one of those is that I can be in the room without any of this protection at the same time that the machine is on, the 3D printer is on, or if I'm working with paints. I need the respirator, I need the air purifier. The other rule is that when I'm done, I will open the window if I can, and then I'll go outside. Left the door open because it's better to make some kind of air flowing until all the particles are disappear. It's going to take maybe 1 hour or something like that, but I will need just to open the window. That is everything I have for you today. Please think about the health. I'm getting older and older, and I'm feeling, well, not so well as I felt when I was younger, and I feel that I need to put some kind of protection on me before it's too late. So if you are working with this kind of well, very dangerous things, like for example the thinners and the resin from the 3D printer, you are in a very bad position. So you need, please, you need to work with your health, and you need to be careful with your health. This is what I have for you here today. I hope you like this video about health, and I hope you put measures for your health, and everything works for you at the end. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for this first week of the Art Fabula of the year, and see you soon in the next video. Bye!